So at first glance this looks like a normal roguelike deck builder, but it doesn't play like one, because a rather huge part of the game is summoning allies and paying attention to where everyone is standing during fights, which ends up mattering way more than you'd expect. You're moving those units around, blocking attacks with summons, and trying not to get caught in bad positions. Now all of this plays out in this weird sci-fi fantasy world full of corrupted machines and godlike enemies, and the combat gets complex pretty fast, at least once the positioning starts stacking up. Thank you kindly to Storycrop for sponsoring this video. So here's how it actually works. You choose between two characters that play completely differently. One is all about summoning units and managing a resource to call them into battle, but does very bad damage on their own. The other focuses on chaining combo attacks, building up a meter when damage is dealt, and then spending this on powerful moves. She hits much harder, but has less defense, and doesn't really rely on summons. The combat system does use cards like most deck builders, but the positioning matters a lot here. Essentially there are 3 rows, front, mid and back, and many cards only work properly depending on where you're standing. Some attacks only hit the front enemy, others target the back row specifically. You can move between those rows during combat, and you also have to think about where your summoned units are placed. The enemies show their intentions above their heads, so you can anticipate what's coming. The game has you constantly switching between your regular hand of cards and your summon options. You click a button to swap to your unit menu, choose who you want to call in, and then switch back to play your normal cards. The units stick around and act on their own each turn. The cards have types like thrust, cleave or upswing, and if you play them in specific orders you trigger powerful finishing moves. There are tons of different combos, and honestly it gets pretty complex trying to remember all of them. The game does have this menu where you can check what combos exist. Outside of battles, you explore a map with various nodes. There are fights, shops, random events, treasure chests, and special store encounters called fate flows. The map has this fog of war thing where you can't see what each node contains, until you use items called wigs to reveal them. Each area also has branching paths you can take. The progression works like you'd expect. Win battles to get new cards, visit merchants to buy stuff, find random events that might heal you or give you relics. But what makes it different is how much the character choice affects everything. Greaser's runs are all about building up a strong team of summons and managing when to call them in. But Rinzana's runs are about finding cards that create good combo chains and balancing your health, since some of her cards damage her too. Both characters have multiple subclasses that change how they play even more. One thing to note is that runs seem to take longer than your average deck builder. The combat is more tactical and you spend time thinking about positioning and combo setups, and the map exploration adds time between fights. It's not a quick roguelike where you blast through in 30 minutes. The difficulty settings let you adjust how hard things are and unlock more content as you win on higher levels. So the combination of deck building with tactical positioning and the strong focus on summoning is essentially what makes this stand out. The two characters feel genuinely different. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.